Hey guys, today we're taking a look at my Winged Dragon of Ra deck. Now Ra is a little bit harder to build a deck around than the other god cards because his effect relies on sort of a good situation for you. He can be extremely powerful at the right situation. He kind of becomes an OTK card, and that's kind of how I built the deck. So I'll talk about the cards. So first off, the Winged Dragon of Ra, you need 3 tributes for him like the gods. The big effect is that when he gets summoned, you can pay almost all your life points and he'll gain that attack. He has another effect that you can give 1,000 life points to destroy a monster, which can be very powerful, but usually you'll use the first effect and won't be able to activate the second effect. But I'll talk about how my deck works and how we'll make use of both of his effects. So in this deck I'll be running a level 2 beast engine, so I'll go over some of the cards that are working for that. So Nimble Momonga, perfect for this deck, giving you life points and more Momongas, allowing you to start to summon Ra pretty quickly, and having a life point advantage will guarantee you an OTK usually, which will be pretty nice. And then Ryko with level 2 beasts. This is a very powerful card. Obviously sending things to the graveyard isn't really helping us at all, but still having a nice powerful effect that also works with the level 2 beast engine. And then Battle Fader. You can use Battle Fader or Swift Scarecrow. Battle Fader because of the special summon fact that we want more monsters on the field. But you can use Swift Scarecrow because if your field is empty, you can use Obedient Schooled, which I'll talk about. But currently, Battle Fader I think works out better for me. And then we have Baby Racoon Tantan, just giving us more special summon power to keep summoning out these monsters. And he has an effect combined with the next card, which is Kalantosa. So Kalantosa a little bit more high in the defense with the level 2 beast. And when it's special summoned by a beast monster effect, it could destroy a card in the field. So you use Tantan to summon him in and destroy a card, which can be very powerful in the right situation. And then Wind Up Kitten, another level 2 beast that has a very powerful effect that he can bounce cards, so it can be very, very effective. And then Chow just can be very useful with this deck because you can, negate an opponent's normal trap. When you're going in for the kill with Ra and you're worried about, one specific trap, you can use Chow really nicely, so that can be definitely useful. And then one Mogmole, just allowing him to resummon himself, which can be nice, just situational, that will get him back. Obviously, continuing to have these level 2 beasts up is very important. So now the card that kind of makes this all work is Obedient Schooled. So as long as you have no monsters, you can immediately summon 3 of these level 2 beasts, and that's, instant Ra. So very, very powerful for this deck type, and that's why we're building around the beasts. Then we have Forbidden Lance, obviously another way to protect Ra from traps and spells, which can be very important. And then Messenger of Peace, really important to stall in this deck because we're going for that OTK. So Messenger of Peace is one of the best stall cards. There's a bunch of other ones you can use, but I really like that for this deck, especially because we have low attack monsters as well. And then Supremacy Berry. So this card has a really nice combo with Ra. So what you do is you activate Ra's effect, pay all your life points, and then you activate Supremacy Berry, gain 2,000 life points, and then destroy, 2 monsters on the field. So basically you clear the way for the OTK with Ra, which becomes extremely powerful. So you can run other cards that give you life points, but I currently think Supremacy Berry is the best one with this combo. And then MST helping us with back row, Dark Hole. Gold Sarcphogus is very important to get the card we need, whether it's Trap Stun or Obedient Schooled or the Winged Dragon of Ra. Now for the traps, we have Draining Shield, very good for this deck, giving us high life points, enabling us to go for the OTK. And Trap Stun, very, very important for this deck, because that's what's going to defeat you most often is running into a monster, or not running into something that gets rid of Ra, like Mirror Force or something, which can be very, very annoying. So you really need to have something like Trap Stun in this deck, or you can run like Royal Decree if you want. But when you're only going for one attack to win, usually Trap Stun's the better choice. So now for the extra deck, we're going to have a variety of 1 and 2 star XYZs. Shamjoi Soldier can be useful with Ra because you can gain life points, which can be very helpful. Utopia Roots, very annoying for your opponent to deal with. Dullahan can also be really useful, and Slacker Magician to stall. For the 2 stars, the rest of the extra deck, Herald of Pure Light to recycle what you need. Shining Elf can be useful. Daigusto, 2 Dark Mists, not hard to get this out in this deck. And 3 Gachi Gachis and 3 Racoons. Very powerful for this deck, allowing you to have an alternate kind of condition to do some damage. Sandayu is really nice in this deck to bring out those tokens and stall, so you can bring out Ra really, really nicely. So now for the side deck. Again, side decks in my videos are kind of just recommended cards that can also work with the main deck. It isn't meant to be a side deck for matches, so don't try to think of it that way. It's just more of recommended cards that might be useful for you. So you can run the Frog Engine if you want. Again, for all the gods that works out fine if you want. Hardened Arm Dragon, another way to protect Ra. Not the route I'm going, but can be useful. Healing Wave Generator can be useful to gain the life points for Ra and then activate his effect, so that can be useful. Soul Exchange, not running that in this deck because skipping your battle phase in an OTK deck is pretty rough, especially when you set up for the OTK and you can't attack, so that's why I'm not using Soul Exchange, but you can run it, you can get Ra out more easily. Swords Revealing Light, another version to stall, Wabaku, anything like that. Megamorph, an alternative condition because it'll usually be lower on life points, not really for Ra. Closed Forest, another kind of condition for doing good with this deck, can be helpful. Dian Keto, kind of like Supremacy Berry, to be able to activate Ra's effect. Foolish Burial, Monster Reincarnation together is one way to search out Ra, but still, that takes 2 cards, can be kind of annoying. If you want to thin your deck a bit, you could run Upstart Goblin, but your opponent gaining life points can be very bad for this deck because you need a certain amount to win in one turn. Another way you can run Ra is not use his life point effect and just use Heart of Clear Water and keep abusing his other effect, which can be very useful. If you run things like Upstart Goblin, you can run Life Equalizer and you can summon Ra, activate his effect, then make both your life points 3,000 and go for the kill. So that's another nice combo. Enchanted Javelin, just a big way to get points from Ra's attack, which can be very useful. And Power Frame, just an interesting card if you're not using Ra's effect to gain life, to use your life points. This can be an interesting one to have Ra gain a certain amount of attack. So that's my Winged Dragon of Ra deck, still messing with it. This idea is really fun and seems to be working well for me. Still very gimmicky because of how it has to work, but it definitely, it's definitely able to do, what it's meant to do, which is, the point of the deck, obviously. But if you guys have your own Winged Dragon of Ra decks, you could post below, let me know in the comments. You could talk about what cards you use. Maybe there's some cards I didn't think about that could be good for this type of deck. So let me know. But as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.